Are you listening? Damn.
Yo, welcome to another edition of the AFC North Talk. Here we are, the fourth. Ace, Q, Tony, and Sunny here. Hey guys, it's up. We're all excited. Draft is coming. Things are moving. Slowly but surely, things are moving. But let's get right into it because I want to make sure we do our mock draft later. Let's go to this Bengals unis. Let's go to the Bengals uni. I saw Ace started tweeting, and then I saw you tweeted that link like, oh, you can, the Bates, you can have your own jersey and all that. What do you think, Ace? What was your thoughts on this unis for the Bengals?
I love them. Mine is on the way. They're going to be here. I got two of them. The first two that I ended up getting, one was a black Tyler Boyd. The other was a orange Joe Burrow. So those two are on the way. I actually had a good friend of mine that went live in the Bengals Pro Shop. And as soon as he did that, I was like, bro, what sizes do they have over there? So he was gracious enough, my man, Renardo from Cincinnati. Appreciate you, bro, for getting that for me and shipping it out. Can't wait to see it. But I love it, man. The simplicity is key. They leaked a while ago, though. They actually leaked, like at least one of them leaked about a month ago on eBay. And me and my partner, Zim Hude, we went live and we talked about it. We were like, yeah, we're pretty sure that this is the jersey. So I love the jerseys. I love the simplicity on them. Getting rid of those slide panels that you can see behind me, removing and making the stripes more defined. I love that. Just the simplicity, like taking the shadowing out, the highlights off of the names on the back. My favorite one is the black one, and then they've got three different pants that they actually have. So I think the one coolest part of the pants that I liked is there's a white pair of pants with orange stripes on it, which is different. And then they have another one that's just the white and black that's based off of our old Color Rush uniform. The white ones are slick as well. I love those. The orange and black combos. There's so many combos that they can go with it. But with the NFL only having the rule that only allows you to wear one helmet, it just sucks because I would love to see them try to add a new helmet or something else new to it. But you look better, you play better. I mean, it was time for an update, man. I mean, we haven't had an update since like 2004, I think, 2005. So it was time. But I do like the clean look. I love that the whole process, they actually sent my other podcast partner from over on the Orange is the New Black podcast. He actually got to go. He got flown up to Cincinnati with some super fans, and they actually got shown the jerseys a day prior. Nice. And they were actually involved the day of the release. So some really cool stuff that they had going on. Joe Burrow, all of the guys that were there. They had Chad Ochocinco. They brought him back into the fold in the little promo for this to introduce and reveal the jerseys to those players that you see pictured. It was just a dope moment. I loved it. If you do want to support me, I am affiliated with Fanatics, and I do have links to that on Twitter. If you follow me on @NewStripeCity, and on my YouTube channel, we do have affiliate links for those. So if you do want to support the channel and you do want to support me and get a dope Bengals jersey and still support the Bengals, you can head over there and do that at New Stripe City. But I just love the jerseys. But I'm a Bengals fan, so I'm biased.
Tony.
Yeah, so a couple things. Can you go back to the picture there? I have a couple thoughts here. First of all, Ace talked about they leaked a little earlier. It's always, though, when they leak like that, they always have the most, for whatever reason, whoever's leaking jerseys. I follow soccer a lot. They always, every year they change uniforms. They always, when they leak it, it's always like the most unflattering version of it, where it's like, wow, that looks terrible. And then you actually see it
sitting on a hanger.
Yeah, exactly. It's all wrinkled and it's
never the game cut. It's like the kids large version that doesn't have like the collar, right?
The replica. It's like the replica. It's not actually stitched. So I like it. Like when you actually see it on a player, I like it a lot. Now the only one I don't like here is the orange top with the white pants. That looks too much to me like the Bears alternative. I'm sure with the helmet it'll look better, but that looks too much like the Bears. I have to say, and I know we're not supposed to like each other's jerseys here, but I really like the color rush that the Bengals had, and the fact they kept white on white. That's an awesome. I mean, that is a legitimately great jersey. I came away impressed by these. And the other thing I like about it, people in chat are saying this, like it's too similar to what they had before. I like that. Again, maybe there's like the old man in me who's just like, curmudgeon, don't want to see this. I can't even tell who this team is anymore. But like, I like the idea that, the Bengals didn't change drastically here. It's a nice change. And again, I really like that white on white.
Appreciate that, Tony.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess I'll go here. When people say it doesn't look that different, like, oh, because it has stripes, like, because it has the Bengals like branding on it, it doesn't look different. It looks complete. Look at the black jersey and look what's hanging on Ace's wall. What's hanging on Ace's wall was like real hot in the early 2000s, but it aged gracefully and then it just stopped aging after a while. And that's modern. That's nice. It don't have anything extra. It looks simplistic. It's really good. Nike can do throwbacks really well, right? They did the Browns throwback. That's great. The Saints and the Dolphins have some of the best throwback jerseys in the NFL. Even the Steelers throwback with the more squared numbers instead of the kind of dated, kind of italicized numbers that they have are really nice. And of course, the Buccaneers, they went back to some throwbacks there as well that are very nice, right? They can do that. They can steal somebody else's designs pretty well there at Nike. But what they have done awfully, and I mean awfully, even the Chargers are a throwback too, but awfully are just new designs. Like they have not come out with like a fresh design that has been hot ever, in my opinion. You got remember the digital clock, Tampa Bay Buccaneers? We ain't even gonna talk about what the Cleveland Browns were when they were winning like 3 games in 4 years. What's up? The Miami Dolphins, what they did to the Miami Dolphins, yes. that jersey was pretty bad. And then, oh man, there's another one. Oh, the Jets have a bad one. The Falcons out here wearing FUBU. Like it's just all kind of just, ooh, man, when Nike goes off. Oh, the Rams.
No, I like the Rams. No, I like the Rams. I'm the one guy. I'm that guy. I'm the one guy.
Tony likes everybody else. The Rams look awful. The Rams look terrible. They got them bony uniforms, I guess. But this is actually nice. Look, this is a good thing. Like they chose good fonts. They chose good spacing. It's nice. It's a jersey that actually looks okay if you wear it as like a jersey. If you're a fan, like it don't need the pads to be on to look good. And like the black jersey, like I'm not gonna ever wear one unless I lose a bet massively. But I would rock them. And look, I'm gonna really appreciate all of these color combinations that for the next 10 years the Browns gonna be beating the Bengals in. I like that it's not gonna be an eyesore on the other side of the field when the Browns get swept inevitably by the Browns.
Yep, you got that.
By the Browns, like they have been with, with Baker Mayfield 5-1 versus the Bengals. I look forward to beating the Bengals in these nice uniforms that y'all got. The road ones, I like the white too. That's gonna be nice when we beat y'all at First Energy. I want to know what y'all gonna rock at Paul Brown. Y'all gonna go orange on black. Is it a big game, orange and black, or y'all just gonna go like regular, like black on white? We'll see. I can't wait to see what it is y'all get swept in this year. But they're gonna look nice though. It's gonna be a nice jersey.
I will say this. It might be just me. I'm not a fan of white on white unis. I'm not. I hate when the Ravens do white on white. It's my least favorite color. That orange on black, I would say of the Bengals is my favorite combo. Might be because it reminds me of the Orioles, but I like the black jerseys. I like orange as a color in general. I like orange, so. Orange on black, black on black. I just not a fan of white on white. Again, not this is not a Bengal thing. I hate it on the Ravens. That's my least favorite uniform, the Ravens. But I think, I agree with Q. It's clean. It's a very appealing jersey. Not like what the Falcons. The Falcons was the last one that did the reveal, and those were awful. Let's be honest, those were awful.
Yeah, not great. Not great.
So. Anyway, let's move on here because we had a couple of
uniforms for this new era they about to go through.
Sonny, we got some super chats.
Let me do the super chat. You're right. By the way, super chats are also available. It's a way for you as a fan to interact with us and derail this show like always. And how this show can get derailed. We don't have to explain. If you have been here before,
two super chats from now, it'll be derailed. I've already seen one. It's
or it doesn't take much. If you have not seen it, try it. I encourage you to try with a super chat. Anyway, here from Josh Almeida, thank you for the donation. if the Bengals get Chase, would you say that they have the best receiving corps in the AFC North? I'm gonna start here real quick. I'm hoping you guys get Chase. I'm a big fan of you guys getting Chase. And I voted for the Bengals to have either number 1 or number 2. So sure, you know what? Burrow's not gonna get protected. So sure, I'll give you that. Ace, what do you think?
I think it's hard to say. I mean, the AFC North has some talented receivers when you really look at it, and we had to really look at it last year. And I think we all, probably except for Tony and some others, underrated the Steelers. And it's crazy that I'm saying that, but you have to think about how deep they are as well. You also have to think about the Browns with them having OBJ. But I could see you making the argument, like, based on the potential, having those 3 guys as young as they are, with the talent that they could potentially possess as a trio. Yeah, it's possible, but I don't think I don't think we can say that until we see everything play out with the rest of the division, obviously, because, the Steelers, I think we saw last year, they were 4 deep. The Bengals, they could be considered 4 deep, but it just depends on how they play next season.
You guys are clearly forgetting about 2018. Eric Ebron is coming back this year. Remember, it's up and down every year, up and down. We're on an up. We're on the uptick now.
I honestly feel like last year was the up for Eric Ebron.
No.
That was the ceiling.
Eric Ebron's stat last year was the second best year, so that's just the stats.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so when me and Sonny are talking about this, and we talk about why we team Chase. Look, we played the Bengals with Jonah Williams. 3 games, right? The Browns played y'all twice, and the Ravens played y'all once. It was 3 wins, 3-0 with Jonah. So this is the best case scenario for that offensive line. I believe Joe Burrow got sacked 20 times almost in those 3 games with 4 strip sacks. Please keep the buffet open, baby. That's all I want. You know what I mean? The Bengals keep the buffet open. Yeah. Because look, you can have whoever you want out there running routes. If you got Jonah Williams or Myles Garrett, look, baby, it ain't gonna matter who running the routes. Would they have the best wide receiving corps in the NFL or in the AFC North? It's hard to say, right? Because it's based on a lot of potential, because you're saying that Jamar Chase is going to put you over what the Steelers have there. And I don't buy into, okay, we're just going to put the potential of Jamar Chase, especially when Jamar Chase probably like my 3rd favorite receiver in this draft. So I don't think it would. Because we know what you have in Claypool. Deontay Johnson is the same kind of potential bet as Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase, and we don't know Jamar Chase is going to have them same issues. We know what Deontay's issues are. We know that they're kind of fixable. And then I don't know. It's a toss up. Honestly, I don't think any team's going to have an especially great wide receiving core in this division. So I don't know if being number 1 here puts you in the top 8 of the league or anything like that.
Okay, Tony.
Okay, so here's what I'll say here. And I know, look, one of the frustrating things when I hear, I'm not Team Chase, but I'm also probably not Team Sewell either. I find it frustrating when we talk about the Bengals offensive line. We act like Sewell is the answer, right? And it's the only answer, as if they didn't already sign Riley Reif, and I'm going to make sure Riley Reif this week. And they also signed, they're bringing back Jonah Williams. They have made upgrades to their offensive line. It's not like they stayed stagnant. Now, Sewell obviously would be an upgrade over what they already have, but it's not like, they haven't already spent money in other places to upgrade it. So, and it's also a deep class where you can get a guy in round 2, right? It's not like you have to, we don't get Sewell, well, then there's no one else in this class, right? Because and the reason why I bring this up is because Steeler fans say the same thing about taking a running back. Well, they have to address the offensive line. You can't take a running back before you address the offensive line, as if the Steelers haven't already changed out 3 out of the 5 offensive linemen and changed offensive coordinators this year. So I don't know that look, here's what I'll say about the Bengals. I don't know that they can make a bad pick there, right? Sewell's going to be good. I think Chase is going to be good. I don't think either of those guys are going to be bad players. I don't think, the difference between Sewell and not Sewell is another Joe Burrow ACL tear. Although, boy, by the way, we can go back to that picture. Have you guys seen the scar? That's an insane scar.
Concerning scar.
That's a draft Panay Sewell scar. That's what it is.
I mean, it does. You see that scar and you go, yeah, you know what? Maybe we do take it.
I had
Joe was personal with it too. He ain't put one of them leg sleeves on.
No.
He was like, look at this.
Yeah, look at my knee.
Yeah, he posted something on IG about it apparently already. So
King of
he took it on.
That Derek job and pack in the air, baby.
It's 420.
Here we go. Cameron Penny says, "What's up, guys? How do you guys think Baker is going to do next year?" Cute, don't answer because I already what you're gonna say. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for the donation. I'll start with Ace. Ace.
I think Baker is gonna take a bit of a step next season. I think, especially with the talent that the Browns have been pulling in this offseason, I think that Baker could take another step, and maybe they'll take. Don't take this the wrong way, Quincy, but maybe they'll take the training wheels off a little bit this season to let him throw it a little bit more.
It's funny. Quincy just had a tweet about that like 2 hours ago.
I had no idea.
I don't know if you're trolling him right now, but if you are, it's an amazing troll because he literally tweeted like something about that like 2 hours ago.
But like how they kind of did during the season, where they started to kind of take away that, I called it the Dalton diet, right, during the season, and then after he left the Bengals, they kind of started to let him throw a little bit more, and that's all I mean by it. I'm not saying that he's, by any means that he was bad or anything last year. I just think that they'll trust him a little bit more to be more of that gunslinger that he usually is.
Yeah, and I think I know what Quincy's going to say, right? Which is the last year, I believe, Quincy, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. He had a lot of 50-50 ball type throws, right? Throws into tight windows last year. Baker did in that offense, right? So it wasn't as though. Am I wrong on that one?
I mean, he had some, but he had also like a lot. Like it's one of those things where he had a lot of tight window throws, especially like when he played like the Chiefs or the Ravens, especially. The Ravens were like really pressing him up real tight without Odell in there, because the wide receivers couldn't get great separation without Odell in there. But also the way, and I get why people sometimes say the things they say about Baker Mayfield, because sometimes in the play action game, he does get guys wide open. So I don't know how those numbers average out, but he'll have like the Donovan Peoples-Jones throw against Cincinnati, where it's like an insanely tight window, or the one throw on 4th and 1 against Kansas City to get it to Austin Hooper, where it's like super tight window. But he'll also just have like, Kareem Hunt just wide open because of linebacker forgot about him, so it happens often. I don't know what those numbers are specifically, but I get what you're saying there.
But here's to Ace's point, though. I think the thing about Baker this year, right, is he's in such a good situation. And I'm not trying to say training wheel or anything like that. I just mean, when you look back at what happened to him 2 years ago in an offense that was consistently changing with Freddie Kitchens, right, and the disaster that year was, he's the stability that he's in now, Stefanski, and how good Stefanski is as an offensive mind, as an offensive play caller, is just not going to put Baker in. Even if Baker takes a step back this year, right, as far as like mental processing or accuracy or whatnot, he's still got the crutch of having Stefanski as a very good mind, right, who's not going to put him in situations where defenses know what's coming, right, know what to expect, and can step in front of throws, that kind of thing. So he's always going to have that for him. So I do expect numbers-wise, I think Baker's going to put up either the same or possibly even better numbers, because I think we do all expect that Baker is at a point now in his career where we expect him to make the next leap. But I think even if he doesn't make the leap, I don't see a big fall off. I don't see him going back to being a 20 interception type player.
Yeah, my take here is simple. It's that Baker this year's floor is essentially last year's production. Here's in one more year in his with the system, right? Last year it was a new system, new coach. Now he's one more year in the same system. He's one more year with Austin Hooper, right? People Jones, if he's going to become more a part of the offense, one more year with People Jones should be a complete offseason for him. O-line is coming back intact, right? Running backs are back. That offense, essentially a really good offense, came back intact for the most part. And he's one more year into the system. So in my opinion, the floor should be, like, if you're a Browns fan, your expectation is at minimum he should perform how he performed last year, right? Because last year, in theory, things were stacked a little bit more against him than this year. So a minimum should be that, and I'm expecting him to be better. I'm not saying that he's going to be way better. He could, but expectations, right? He should at least be somewhat better than last year. There's pending injuries, right? His injuries obviously can change everything. Yeah. But if that team stays relatively healthy, the O-line receiving core, he has everything plus OBJ coming back. So I can only expect Baker to have a better year than last year. Q, you want to put any thoughts? Because the next question is for you.
Yeah. So I'll say this, and I'll say this real quick. So as far as Baker, I think the big variable for him is going to be Odell, right? How does that work out? Is this going to be something that's going to, have very little effect, or is this something that's going to, put him over the top into a conversation? Now, look. My whole thing with Baker Mayfield has been, I don't know if he's a guy who's going to be like an MVP candidate ever or a top 5 quarterback or anything like that. But I do feel strongly that he's going to be and is right now probably like top 8 to 15. Well, 15's a little low. Top 8 to 12, and I think he's probably in that 10 to 9 range there, especially with how he played last year. The question with him is always going to be about interceptions because he threw 20 of them in a year and he threw 14 of them before he jumped all the way down to 9. So it shows that the decision making has gotten better with Kevin Stefanski. I don't know how Baker's going to do next year because I don't know what this offense is going to look like. But if the end of last year is any indication, it's probably going to be an offense that's going to rely more on what Baker Mayfield and that passing attack can do and then eat off of what Chubb and Hunt can do, because that's what they did at the end of the season, right? There were games. Teams figured out the run. Teams figured out how to stop the run, especially when all the Browns offensive linemen started going down. The Browns weren't able to run the ball against Baltimore. They weren't able to run the ball against even they were able to run the ball against Pittsburgh. My bad. They weren't able to run the ball against Pittsburgh.
They were do anything they wanted against Pittsburgh.
They could have gotten a punt fake and scored against Pittsburgh in that game. But even against Kansas City, they couldn't really run well, and it was kind of on Baker. So Baker, I think, has proven well enough that he can carry more of a load. Now, my whole thing where I get mad about people is when they're like, oh, Baker's a system quarterback. Baker's this and that. One, system quarterback's kind of a useless label just because what is a system? Lamar's a system quarterback because he's been in the same system for 3 years, right? Everybody's a product of their system if football works properly, right? You should be a product of your system if you have a good coaching staff. So, yeah, of course, he's a system quarterback. But also, what system is Baker a product of, right? He's had 3 different head coaches in 3 years. I don't think he's had a system. Let's move to Mark's question.
Before we go to Mark, let's go and hit Tony with our sponsor of tonight's show, Manscaped.
That's right. With the first pick in the 2021 men's grooming draft, the Ball Saxonville Jaguars selected Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Looks like Mel Kiper gave this one an A+ grade because the pick is a major upgrade for that Bush defense. For all my NFL draft fans, we have an exclusive 20% off promo code AFC North Talk, all one word, AFC North Talk at manscaped.com. The reason why Manscaped is the guaranteed #1 pick is because of the performance package. This package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Inside the performance package, you're going to find products and liquid formulations that have been developed to turn your bathroom into a salon for your balls. This package also includes the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. I can confidently say this is the best tool on the market for nose and ear hair. Their performance package comes with performance boxer briefs, a travel bag for you to use when you're done quarantining, and some other liquid formulations like the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver. Support the show. Get 20% off with the code AFC North Talk at manscaped.com.
Okay. So here, the question from Mark Kahn says, question for Q, but we'll like the others' input as well. If Tack, Mac, and Clowney both have banner years, I'm assuming big years, but you can only bring one to a fat contract. Who do you choose to bring back and why? Yeah, PHAT. Yeah. Q.
If you ain't gonna like my answer to this, but
I think your answer is gonna be the same as mine. But go ahead.
You would bring the guy you're going to bring back if those two have great years. It's going to be Ojulari, Kwity Paye, or whatever young edge rusher you decide to draft with that 26th pick, because you're developing them. And if Tag McKinley and Jadeveon Clowney can have great years next to Myles Garrett, shows you being next to Myles Garrett's a pretty sweet spot to be in, and you probably don't want to, dump a ton of, you just want somebody with some potential there. So that's honestly what I'll do. I don't think Tack might come back if he has a decent year, but if either of those guys have breakout years, they're both gone. Let's be honest about that. Unless the Browns win the Super Bowl and they're trying to convince them to bring it back and run it back for another year. I would highly doubt if both of them had like a combined 21 sacks or something between the both of them, and it's not like an insane split towards one player. Yeah, they're probably both gone at that point because the Browns don't retain another pass rusher money. Well, they won't after that. You would assume they would have a good year. You know, Baker would probably have a good year too. You would have to re-sign him and give him good money too. So I don't know what the cap number is going to be, but it's probably unlikely that both of them get brought back on fat contracts. If one were to, it's probably more likely to be Takk McKinley if he shows any potential, because he's younger and free of that injury history that Clowney has. And I think Clowney and the Browns are both under agreement that, you know, what this year is you trying to get paid next year. We trying to win games this year. Mutual agreement. Let's do this for 1 year, and then hopefully we both get what we want out of this.
Let me rephrase this, and then I'll throw it to you, Tony.
Yeah.
Will you teams, right? Like especially, I mean, Ravens and Bengals need pass rushers, and in theory, Tony, you guys might have a position open there after this year. Will any of our teams will sign any of those two players if they have a big deal to a big contract, not to a normal contract, to a big contract? That way you can put it into perspective to your team. What do you think, Tony?
Would I sign Clowney or Takk to a big contract after a big year?
To a big, exactly.
You know, it's tough to say, because look, I like Clowney. I've said this, right? I don't buy, I'm not a sack guy. I'm a pressure guy. So, Clowney's pressure numbers have always been good throughout his career. But the problem for Clowney is, your best ability is availability, right? And he's been hurt, especially last season. So if he played a full 16-game season, my doctor said we give him a full clean bill of health. And the Steelers didn't have TJ Watt because, the Steelers are going to pay so much money to TJ Watt. They're going to need bargains on the other side. Then, yeah, I think I'd be comfortable. Clowney still at this point, he's not even 30 yet, is he?
He's 28 right now.
28, yeah. So,
next year.
I could probably give him, a 2 or 3 year deal that's, quote unquote, big money for the position, right? Something like Bud Dupree got $16 million. I could see that. One question I had for Quincy there, because I was surprised to hear you say edge rusher in the first round. So Takk McKinley, Clowney come in. You don't think that takes edge rusher off the board a little bit for the Browns in this draft?
Because they're 1 year deals. And this is the same thing I have with the Bengals, right? Where people are like, oh, well, they brought in guys. They brought in guys on 1 year deals, which means that you have no future with them, right? Exactly. Riley Reef is only there for 1 year. You got Jonah Williams on his rookie deal, and then it's a mess in between with Trey Hopkins there. And I like Trey Hopkins. Trey Hopkins getting old now. But I don't know. Is Trey Hopkins getting old? Like I just feel like he's been there forever.
He's probably 28 as well.
Yeah, he's probably around 28. He's coming up at the end of his deal, probably. I don't know. Let me stop saying stuff about his contract or age situation.
Turn 29. That's a good point.
Yeah. But it's the same thing with the defensive line here. It's all patchwork, right? There's no real permanent solution here for the Cleveland Browns on the defensive end for next year. And if those two dudes have a big year, who's going to be playing edge rush for the Browns the next season after them, right? If they get big deals, which the Browns probably aren't going to re-up and take, you would be left with nothing. So best case scenario, you have nothing for next year. Worst case scenario, Clowney gets hurt, Takk doesn't develop, and then you have a worse situation next to Miles. So what would be right to do is to go and take an edge rusher if you feel like there's an edge rusher you like there at 26. I feel like the signing of Clowney kind of makes that more possible. I think it makes it more likely that they will do it just because now you can take a Kwity Paye. Now you can take and develop Ojulari. I'm not going to go all crazy here and be like, oh, you can develop Jason Owa. No. Nobody should do that.
That's the next super chat we have, actually.
Yeah. We ain't doing that one. All right. I don't care how fast his 40 time is. He doesn't know how to play football. But, you can develop those guys. Yeah, he'll learn. He'll learn. 4 years of college. He'll learn, though. He'll learn.
Bud Dupree, baby. Bud Dupree, listen, you give him 3-4 years, he's fine.
Bud Dupree had production at Kentucky. Bud Dupree had more than 7 sacks in his career.
I'm not gonna even kind of comment on the edge class because y'all know how I feel.
I love it. Yeah, we've heard. Yeah, you're big.
What do you think? What do you think of the with the Bengals? Because the Bengals will have potential cap. Will you be endorsing for them to sign them to a big deal? Either of these two, if they have a good year.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Would I endorse for the Browns to do that? No. Well, no, because then that would mean that they would give Baker Mayfield less money. I'm endorsing for the Browns to just hand Baker Mayfield a check for $50 million a year. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Lamar as well. Lamar 75.
It's your turn, Quincy. You're gonna have to give him like that Andy Dalton contract we gave him, where there was $100 million, and they were like, "How are you gonna give Andy Dalton $100 million?" It's your turn. It's time for you guys to get it.
So man, Baker gonna take less money because he got all the Progressive commercials since his rookie year. He's gonna take less money.
He's not taking less money. He's gonna throw 50 touchdowns this year and make $75 million.
Yeah, look.
I million a year. Start it up.
Let's talk about that being a real possibility, right? Because the Browns' defense is as good as it is on paper. That means the offense is gonna get a ton of possessions.
Yeah.
And if Odell, if he just comes back to being Odell and that gets working a little bit. Baker's going to have a crazy year statistically, or at least has the potential to have a crazy year statistically, where people are going to talk about him in the MVP category. And then we're in the same boat the Ravens are, where you're like, we got to give him 40.
No, you're in the same boat the Ravens were 7 years ago.
I think you are giving him 4.
If Baker wins a Super Bowl,
number one paid quarterback in the league.
That's true. If Baker wins Super Bowl in Cleveland,
let me make this clear. If Baker wins a Super Bowl in Cleveland, he could get more than that $100 million guaranteed in that count on day one. He can get $200 million.
Get shares of the team.
All of Jimmy Haslam's net worth. All right, I don't care. Whatever it is, give it to the man.
Sonny, this one's for you. This one's for you. Jason Elway for POTUS.
Right. Before I go to the super chat, make sure we have over 200.
He might be a better president than he is a pass rusher.
He might. But before, just make sure you hit that like, guys. We have 250 here. 3 likes. It's just very quick. Hit that like button.
Yeah, and also, hey, by the way, if you're watching us right now, you're not subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. You'll see us every week, and we're getting close to 4,000 subs. So help us out. If you're already subbed, like the channel. If you're not subbed, hit that subscribe button.
Yep. The only thing I will say about Jason O is I agree with Quincy. He should be like if you take him in the third, I'm gonna go with a 3rd round pick on him.
Oh wait, no, he's gonna go like top 20.
I think he's going in the first. I heard
he's going to value his trade.
But you're saying you personally, you wouldn't pick him in the first. You would wait to the third.
Like if any of our team for some reason stumbles upon him in the 3rd round, I'll be like, that's a great pick in the 3rd round, because in the 3rd round he should be developed. My problem with all these guys in the 1st round is all of them are very raw. They can be great, but they need some time to develop.
I got one for you guys. Gregory Rousseau or Jason Owe. You got to take one. You got to take one. And it has to be in the 1st round.
I would take Jason Owe then, because at least I could put Jason Owe at tight end or something, see if he could do something with those athletic gifts. What can you do with Gregory Rousseau except for make him a coat rack?
No. So here's the thing about Russo I read today, right? And the reason why he's rising up boards, or at least he's getting more intriguing in some people's minds. Yeah, he put on 20. So he didn't play all of last year. Instead, he just spent the time because you watch him. And he's like this lanky guy, right? And you're like, this guy can't play edge. But I guess he put on like 20 pounds, and now he looks ripped. And so teams are getting a little more intrigued by that.
Hey, what was the dude's name out of Baylor? Sean Oakman, right? And look, I know Sean Oakman had those other issues going on with his NFL career, but he wasn't going in the 1st round like before that. I gotta look at him. Yeah, where he's a big old dude who's stiff, he can't move that well. And it's like, it's great that you got 15 more pounds of muscle. It's gonna make the coat rack more bulky. Like, he can't move. He does not move well. Adding more weight to that frame is just I hope he got a jumper.
Rousseau is another one that should be a 3rd round pick. And then the weight, he needs to put weight, because when I did his film evaluation, I was like, this dude, if he puts weight and works on his craft, I don't think he can be an edge at all. But maybe you could kick him inside. But at edge, I don't see it at all. Like I'm looking at his movement. There's no bending. There's no really spin. There's nothing there. So and in the inside, you can be a little bit more stiff. But the problem was when I was watching him, this dude looked like he was 200 pounds, right? Like he's tall. So, yeah, I can see that. But even if he puts 50 pounds, He's still in the first round pick. He's not a first round pick. I was
Sean-
overweight. 50 pounds might be a little much. Might be a
weight
little
isn't even the
much.
problem.
Move him
It's
inside
just
at that point.
His play. It's
He
literally
knows.
his play.
Tyson Allen.
Yeah.
Just go up there, be big, and just grab two people. Maybe that's what he could do. Honestly, though, because if you put him at a 3 technique, he can't play 3 tech. I don't think he can play 3 tech in the NFL. Not on 3-4.
Anything right now. He needs
and he's not going to be big enough to be inside on the 4-3. Like he's got to be on the edge in a 4-3. The way you got to use him, but he's like. He's just too long. He's too long for his own good because he has no gender flexibility.
He's a 4-3 DN. That's essentially what he is. Anyway, play on the review.
Somebody from this division isn't going to draft him. Watch.
I'm sure.
There's one team sitting right in that range.
Oh my god! I will lose my shit if the Ravens draft.
I
If
can't
the
wait.
Browns drafted Rosu, I would lose my mind. If the Ravens drafted Rosu, I would lose my
First, they're
mind.
gonna be eating that peninsula steak, and then they're gonna be like, "The Browns draft Gregory."
Greatest day of my life.
I would lose my shit.
It's gonna be up here, and then it's gonna.
There you go. You want to see this one?
Here we go. I think the Aggies forgot how to super chat. They need to learn how to super chat down there.
He put it.
Wow.
Since it's not actually attached, and since this is my nephew, I do not have to read that. You didn't follow the proper protocols, my friend.
Well done. Well done.
I love it. Okay. But yeah, I would lose my shit if we draft Rousseau, if we draft Owe, if we draft most of these guys.
Hey, hold on, wait.
Buckle in.
Wait. On the Owe though, if the Ravens drafted Owe, I'll be like, see, y'all got y'all wide receiver. 4-3.
Is that what he read?
I like. See, you always slander on the line. I actually like Owe.
He ran a 4-3 and he's like 6'5". Like if he would be a crazy tight end if he had if he could catch the ball just a little bit.
You want the Jason Owe of tight ends, Tommy Tremble. I like Tommy Tremble a lot.
I like Tommy.
Just draft Jason Owe. Just draft Jason Owe and put him.
By the way, I'm reading this super chat here. We got us to look, and I get it, right? Because these comps are easy. But I was listening yesterday. People were comping Najee Harris to Le'Veon Bell. Like we got Drew Brees in his prime. That's Baker Mayfield. No. This is a top 5 quarterback of all time.
Yeah, Drew Brees is we talk about Hall of Famer. Right. Baker, I like Baker. I thought Baker should have been the first pick in the draft. I was concerned after year 2, but even if Baker has the same year as he had last year, I mean, it's unfair to Baker. To be honest, it's just unfair to Baker to compare him to.
If you said Drew Brees from the Chargers, that I could see that.
Yeah.
Prime Drew Brees is a bit of a stretch.
And the comp is easy because it's a shorter quarterback, right? Who has a strong arm. That I guess Drew Brees
No. Baker and Drew Brees are completely different.
Baker's arm is stronger, I'd probably say.
Yeah, Baker's arm is stronger, yeah.
There are some similarities, right? Baker has a stronger arm than Drew Brees. Drew Brees is more about footwork, technique, and all that stuff. Baker's comp more or less is it's a combination, and I'm not saying they'll be the same type of player. I'm just saying if you look at style of play, it's a combination of Brett Favre and Drew Brees. It's not that player, but it's a combination of that style of play. That being said, I have to address 2 things. One, somebody just said Jason Taylor. It reminds him a lot. No, Gregory Rosu reminds him a lot of Jason Taylor. Sir, have you ever watched Jason Taylor play football? Hey, I just gotta ask that question because the one thing that pops off in your head when you see Jason Taylor is, oh my God, that's one of the quickest dudes I've ever seen off the ball.
Amazing.
I don't know how that one happened. All right, but people used to say the same thing about Barkevious Mingo and Jason Taylor. So it didn't make sense then. It makes less sense with Rosu. And the other point that I have with Baker is look, people are going to make the argument. Well, what was Drew Brees in year 3? You know what I mean, compared to what Baker is in year 3. And that's true. But when you compare somebody to a Hall of Famer, you have to wait till they have established themselves as a future Hall. Like with the Mahomes, there's nobody to compare. And usually when that dude is a Hall of Famer, there's nobody to compare him to, right? Patrick Mahomes. Who are you comparing Patrick Mahomes to? He's Patrick Mahomes. You aren't comparing Drew Brees to anybody from 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So or Tom Brady or anybody like that. So the Hall of Fame comps are always like a designation to fail, because even if that player does become a Hall of Famer, he's never going to remind somebody of some other Hall of Famer. Like, that's not how that works. But yeah.
So here's another super chat from the Ultimate Sports TV. Shout out to you. Thank you for the donation. Why will OBJ win comeback player of the year? Why will it work with Baker? I'm assuming it's an interesting one. I think Baker, I mean, his injury at this time, by the start of the year, he should be fine, right? He got injured early in the year. He should be fine. Yeah. I see some of his videos. He looks like he already progressed from the injury. Now, the question is the Baker OBJ connection, right? And then that's going to be the question, because look, we had to say it. As soon as Baker went down, that offense looked like it took off more than what it was before that. Now, it could have been because the system was new, right, for Baker, and he was working on a new system, or could it be because he started to force feed? That answer will be tell at the beginning of next year. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
All right. Well, so go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say, I was looking at you. I was thinking about comeback player of the year. First of all, OBJ has comeback player of the year competition on his own team, right? Because you can make an argument that Clowney could win comeback player of the year, considering he only played 8 games last year and he had no sacks whatsoever. So if he puts up big numbers alongside Miles, that could be comeback player of the year. Also, you got what? Saquon could be comeback player of the year, and then what? McCaffrey too, right? McCaffrey was out all of last year, so it's gonna be
Joe Burrow.
That's right. Joe Burrow absolutely is in that. Yeah, there's actually a lot of competition. Well,
he played more than half of the year. Didn't he play 10 games?
Burrow,
he played like 9 games. But I mean, it would be like Alex Smith. You coming back from an injury.
No, it was a special case
with guys like Burrow and Saquon and even Christian McCaffrey before that. If they come back and have a good season, it's not really like comeback of the player of the year material, because like they were good before the injury. They just came back. Like, you know what I mean? The thing with Clowney or Odell is that people have this ideal that they weren't good and then they got injured. And then if they come back and play well, the narrative's going to be overwhelming. So those are the guys who tend to, like Alex Smith won comeback player of the year over Big Ben, but mainly because nobody really thought Big Ben. I thought Big Ben was done before he got injured, but like before he got injured, nobody really thought Big Ben was done. He came back, played well for a little bit.
11 good games, man. We'll always have those.
He had 11 straight. He's like WCW in the Monday Night Wars. He had 11 straight weeks of dominance, and then it just all died on him at the end.
Can I throw out another candidate for comeback player of the year? This one's a little off the wall, but I think you'll like it. How about my boy Dwayne Haskins? Huh? Comeback player of the year, Dwayne Haskins. Let's go.
The XFL got an award.
Yeah.
Where's he gonna play? Where's he gonna play?
Let's move on to my next super chat here, which I like a lot. I'm gonna let you, Ace, read this.
There it is, Ace.
Because it's
it doesn't have my name on it. I don't have to read that.
I love the pettiness.
How do you are hosting today?
Go Q.
Oh, you think this a game? Read this then. North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, the best HBCU, historically black college and universities, I believe, in the land. Exclamation
in
mark.
In the land of North Carolina. Okay. All right.
Play under review. I love the pettiness. As soon as I saw a super chat, I started laughing. I mean, because I love Ace comeback saying like I don't have to read it because he didn't follow the rules, and he went all in, man. Shout out to you. I love this $5.
Got the 5 spot on it, so it stick for a little bit.
Yeah. Nandon, thank you for the 275 Canadian. Look at that.
What's up, Nandon?
Hey Ace, who do Bengals pick in the first 3 rounds? By the way, we're gonna do a mock draft here very soon, and it's a 3-round mock. So you also gonna see who Ace picks in the first 3 rounds. But go Ace.
I think the first one we've all been hearing that is Jamar Chase. So I gotta say Jamar Chase with that one. Second round is where it gets intriguing because I don't. A lot of people all automatically say, "Oh, we can just get Leatherwood in round 2." I don't think Leatherwood's gonna be there. I think Leatherwood's gonna go probably in the 20s or the late 30s. So I don't think that he's going to necessarily, well, not late 30s, early 30s. I don't think that he's necessarily going to be there. But I do think they do take an offensive lineman in the second round. And I'm just going to throw out Sam Cosmi. He's another guy that could go in that same range. But I'll just say Cosmi for now. And then I think in the third round, I think that's when they're going to go defensive interior or defensive end. If Boogie Basham still happens to be there by some miracle, I think that they take him. Even Peyton Turner is another guy that they could potentially take there, or one of those defensive interior guys, which there's not many of them. So there is a chance, and I think that there's a legit chance that you could see this flip too. You could see them take a defensive end in the second round, which would be going full Bengal, and then going into the third round and grabbing someone there. They've done it before. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, the offensive line is loaded, so it's perfect for us. Duke Tobin did say day 3 or something like that, or, there's the third round is they feel like they can find a starter in the third round. I could see it happening because I think back to the draft, I think it was 2016, and there was Andrew Billings. There were all these defensive interior linemen, and they literally just kept waiting like, nope, we're good. We'll take somebody else. They waited until the 4th round to take Andrew Billings, and I hope that they don't do the same this season.
So here's Super Chat for Mischief Culture TV. Shout out to Ace, Boogie, and Tony for joining Mischief Culture TV. But Ace, the Bengals looking nice, bro. They may surprise a lot of people.
They may. It's all contingent on Joe Burrow's knee. As long as he comes back and they're able to get things together, I think that they'll be fine.
9-8, baby.
Hey, I'll take that. At this point,
I think he's just saying the jerseys look nice. They're looking nice.
they look like above 500 jerseys.
Yeah,
they deserve to go above 500. You know what I mean? Those are nice jerseys. They don't deserve the Browns' future, where the Browns just
here we go.
They went 115, 016, and then 4 games after that. They never
okay.
They get rid of the jerseys. They win.
All right, so we have to propose the trades, right? We're not gonna. Are we gonna automatically?
Oh no, you'll get trades. You'll get trades.
Trades. All right, let's get it.
So we're doing.
Wait, Tony, real quick before we jump in. You feel like Trey Lance at 3? That's the right spot for him?
No, it's gonna be Mac Jones.
No. I'm not saying what you think is gonna happen. I'm saying is that the quarterback prospect that makes the most sense there?
Okay, I haven't watched a lot. I watched more Trey Lance last year than I have now. The one thing yeah, right. It is. It's like, just one more game. The one thing I read about Trey Lance is he has the least number of throws of any college quarterback in this draft, or like in the last, I don't know what the number was, 7 years, 5 years, something. He's only thrown 300 passes, something in that range.
Yep.
Even going back to high school. So I don't know if that might be a little early. I liked Trey Lance a lot on the tape that I watched, but man,
I'm surprised.
But here's the thing about that, Tony. They already have Jimmy G there, so he could technically sit. But you're right. I talked to a friend of mine that's a scout. He said the same thing. He was like, this guy hasn't really thrown that much, right? And
right.
Hey, I was like, nah, I didn't know that. I saw the highlights, and he was like, yeah, he hasn't really thrown the ball that much at all.
Yeah. Talk about toolsy guys. It's all tools.
Yeah, it's all tools right now at this point. But I mean, if you're looking for somebody who would be able to work in a system where it doesn't ask you to throw the ball that much, Kyle Shanahan is the right person to take that dude. So I don't know. I can understand Trey Lance at 3 as a prospect. I can understand Justin Fields because I think he's probably like the second best, like as far as like all the tape on him, like you can believe what you see out of him prospect. In this draft. I don't know about Zach Wilson, but Zach Wilson probably has more tools. Well, I don't know if he has more tools than Justin Fields.
Yeah, it's a big arm.
Big arm. Yeah,
they have similar tools right there. It's just I don't know just with everything else. But Trey Lance, like if you talk about fit prospect wise to situation, that makes a ton of sense there, right? Trey Lance 3. It might not be the right decision. It might not pan out, but it makes sense. I'm not even going to start jumping on the Mac Jones thing. I don't think it makes sense to take Mac Jones number 3 overall.
But one thing, to your point though, Quincy, because I read this as well, and it was a scout that said this. They said, look, whoever San Francisco takes, that's going to be the best quarterback in this draft because that is the best situation right now. You have Kyle Shanahan's offense. You have the receivers that they built there between Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. It's an unbelievable situation for a young quarterback to go to. So no matter who they take,
O-line is fairly good.
Oh right? Yeah.
Good.
And if you're gonna go with number 3 overall, and you're insistent that you're keeping Jimmy Garoppolo for at least a year, right? As the 49ers are, it would make sense to take the most traitsy, unknown gamble of a quarterback in this draft, which is Trey Lance. Right at this point, Justin Fields. If you draft Justin Fields, you're gonna have to play Justin Fields within the first 5 weeks of the season. Same thing goes with Mac Jones, because those are people who people look at as complete. Nobody's going to be calling for the dude from North Dakota State to step in there in week 5. You know what I mean? Unless he has like some monster preseason games or something.
Or
like
they're
that.
just losing. I mean, you're 0-5, and it's like, all right, put the kid in.
This
Which I
probably
doubt
isn't
they'll
going
do
to happen.
because they're a good team. They just had a ton of injuries last year.
This probably isn't going to happen, but what if the crazy shock of the draft is the Niners are just like, oh, we're going to select Kyle Pitts, and then you guys can just have fun with that. That would be insane.
NFL draft Twitter would be hilarious because
awesome.
Drafting a tight end top 5, they're going to be mad about that. Drafting a tight end that you traded up all these spots for in the top 5.
I'm looking at this pick right here. That would not be too bad.
Let me go two quick super chats here.
All right.
One is Michael Ruffin.
I want the Bengals consider Kyle Pitts. I'm asking the same question, Michael.
And then Easy for POTUS says, Ace, the Bengals will be down to draft Chase when you already have 3 solid guys in Higgins, Boyd, and great value Mike Thomas. O-line or Pitts.
That's funny.
Okay.
I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. Auden Tate as well. But I'm looking at this pick right now. At first, I looked at it and I was like, 21. That's far to go back. But you get 2 first rounders. So that's this year and next year. You get a second rounder and you get a third. Like, honestly, if this were real life, I'd have to at least consider it. But given the track record from the Bengals of them picking in the 20s, that was around the area we picked Cedric Ogbuehi. And so I'm going to say no thank you to this because I'm not sure we would make the right decision with these picks. So I'm going to go ahead and reject this offer. I have another offer. Let's see the other one. The Cardinals. Now, this moves me back to 16. I get their second round pick. I get a second round pick in 2022 and a third. That's another intriguing one. Let me see what else we got here. This is the one I took last time, right? We're not going to take any of these. We're going to reject them all, and we're going to stay and put because we're getting closer to the draft, so I don't want to do anything that's not realistic.
Why can't we not reject?
Oh, you have an ad. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. All right. We're good. We're going to stand here, and this is what it all comes down to. So what I'm going to do here is not what I would do in this situation. I'm going to try to give you guys a more accurate picture. And I think this could be the picture, right? 4 quarterbacks could potentially go off in the first 4 picks, right? Might not be that order, but I still think it's those guys potentially. Maybe Mac Jones is in there. I'm going to go with Jamar Chase. I'm not Team Chase, you guys know that. I'm Team Sewell, but I'm just trying to make this accurate. So let's see what this board looks like. Panay Sewell, the very next pick, I don't think that's accurate, especially since they just signed DJ Fluker, I think, in Miami.
13.
Man, if I were one of y'all, I would have been calling up.
Hold on, we should look. Okay, this. I actually like their simulator, but Mac Jones to the
Giants is I don't know about that one.
PFN, get it together.
I mean, in their defense, Daniel Jones is not that good, but they got the Jones brothers going
that's
on.
Never going to happen. Yeah.
Jones and Jones Incorporated.
We have a Detroit super chat here. Detroit versus everybody. Swift, Jamal Williams.
What about Kerryon Johnson?
Oh yeah, Kerryon Johnson straight trash.
Kerryon Johnson.
Okay, let me keep going here.
All right. I like that. No running backs taken yet.
Hey.
What did he pay? Ojulari.
The Bears take Najee Harris? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Steelers.
All right. The next one's going to be the Bucks offering me 32, right? Either two trades. No. I reject both. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Get him off. All right. Okay. ETN is certainly an option. I'm going to, again, like Ace, I'm going to keep this realistic. So I'm only going to take a player that Tomlin or Colbert saw in person. Okay, show me offense and then tackles. Okay, so yeah, Leatherwood's still there, Eichenberg's still there, and then defense corner. Before I take ETN here, Farley. Okay, so
that's not bad.
Farley's still there. Here's the thing about Farley: they didn't go to the pro day, but what would they have seen at the pro day? He didn't, he had back surgery, right? So there was no pro day for them to see. They did do a Zoom call with him, though. We know that. Do I take Farley here? All right, just let's go ETN. Let's try to keep this realistic. ETN, this would signal a bit of an offensive shift in Pittsburgh as they're going to move. They'd have to move to a more outside type scheme and one where they don't rely on a bell cow type running back. So Travis Etienne is the pick.
I was going to say, realistically, the Steelers would take some corner that's projected in the third round. First.
That's coming. Don't worry. I got that one. I got that one locked and loaded.
I'm not taking that trade.
And then the other one is.
Hold on. What's everybody doing? Hello?
I don't understand these. Okay, one thing I don't like about these simulators, if you're doing a mock draft simulator, why would you take a pick in a draft you can't simulate, right? Like, it's as a user of the system. Oh wow, I'm gonna take next year second, and then what? I want to take players. That's what I'm trying to do in this thing. I don't want to not take players.
All right, so we gonna reject these trade offers because these aren't good trade offers. All right, so a lot of all my guys are gone at this point, right? There is no corner that I covet. I believe.
Little Owe action.
Owe still there. Is David Collins still there? Jamin Davis. Are you guys still in the market for a linebacker or no?
Yeah, I'm not drafting Jamin Davis in the first.
Ooh, Gregory.
Again, it's all athlete, all trait. That's this draft class.
Gregory.
You know what? I'm going to do something that I think no mock is predicting, but I do think is kind of likely. Tevin Jenkins. We're drafting Tevin Jenkins, tackle out of Oklahoma State.
Wow.
Jack Conklin's coming up on his deal. We need a new right tackle. Tevin Jenkins, he'll do well in the run system. He's very physical. And stops the Ravens from getting him.
I was thinking about drafting him because what I was going to say is if we trade Orlando Brown Jr., right, the rumor is draft day is probably going to be the day that he gets traded. Tevin Jenkins could be a potential guy that we get.
Keep that offensive line the strength of the team for years to come. That way you're not worried about Jack Conklin's contract coming up. Give yourself insurance. Literally no edge that I like was there. No corner that I like was there. I don't like Caleb Fairley that much.
You're not gonna do that.
Are there any are there any edges that you like beyond Ojulari and Pay, or are those the only two you like?
I like Carlos Basham in the second round or a third round, but
but not a first round.
Not anybody I would value at a first round pick. So I gotta get somebody I value as a first rounder. Tevin Jenkins. I like Tevin Jenkins.
It's disrespectful to sample to take Chase at 5. This is fantastic.
I love it. I love this.
This guy's unbelievable.
This is the worst kind of team Panay for Ace because this dude's like, we need to go Panay to give it time so the sample can get open. And I don't think Ace believes that that's a true statement.
Okay, so for me, literally, Jenkins was the guy that I was considering. The other guys were not Rousseau. Trevor Mooring, I love him. Safety out of TCU. But for this one, I'm going to go with Terrence Marshall because Bateman would have been my guy, and he got drafted two picks before. But
Bateman's going to be good,
yeah.
Marshall will be good too.
That's unfortunate. I think Bateman's going to be better than Marshall, but Rousseau, 28, look at that.
Agreed.
There it is.
All right, Bengals fans, Team Chase. This is what you see. See, Team Chase? This is what I told you would happen. Reject that. What's the next one? Reject that as well.
Second and a third.
All right. So let's take a look at offensive linemen. Since there's so many, Wyatt Davis, Alex Leatherwood just went right in front of me. All right. Okay, so this is where we get some of the guys that you guys like, the Eichenbergs, the Raduns, Jalen Mayfields, all of these guys that are apparently can block Myles Garrett. Let's take a look here at what we've got. All right, let me see. Actually, just out of curiosity, I do want to see some of the guards that we have here. Trey Smith, Ben Cleveland. Let's see the centers real quick. Creed Humphrey's still there, Landon Dickerson. So you got some options. It just really depends. Like, I know people talk about Creed Humphrey and Landon Dickerson as centers. So I hear people saying, I'm banging the table for this guy. But what does that mean? Does that mean that you're going to move Trey Hopkins to guard? Like, I don't know what the plan is there. So one other thing I want to look at before I make this pick is let me look at defense and let's look at the edge real quick.
I think Miners. I think played guard, but he's going to switch to center.
Gotcha.
I think.
Gotcha. All right. Let's go back to offense. I mean, this clearly has to be offensive line. I don't really like many of these picks. You still got Kadarius Toney. See, guys, this is why I wanted Panay. All right, we'll go with Eichenberg. Why not? I mean, I don't like it, but all right, whatever.
Eichenberg's not a bad player though.
Yeah, he's not.
I think the only one of that list right there of those tackles, I think, and Mayfield's probably going to end up being a guard, but man, his athletic testing was so bad. If you go on his mock draftable where they do like the spider chart of all of his athletic traits, the dude tested like the top or the bottom 20 percentile of everything. Yeah. No, I'm not taking
it. Looks like a dead spider and not one of the ones that are
yeah.
When they ball up.
Not taking that one either. All right. Okay, so in the first round we took ETN, right? Oh, Miners just went off the board, and Landon Dickerson. Wow.
Kelvin Joseph went top 40. Like, is Vach running this draft?
Well, I see Asante Samuel still on the board, and that's probably going to be my guy because my goodness, that guy could start right away. Just 1 second before we do that, let me just see offensive lineman real quick.
Tackle.
Wow, Spencer Brown's interesting. I like Spencer Brown.
Spencer Brown is pretty.
If you want to see something fun, search Spencer Brown tape on YouTube. Watch him against Division II athletes. He is he's a man amongst boys. It is stupid how much bigger he is than every other player on this Division II field. He literally doesn't have to try to do anything because he is just so big. At the Senior Bowl.
In the blind side, remember when they have him in high school that he's huge and then all these little kids in front of him.
Yeah. It's like watching that. Spencer Brown is a gigantic man. Now you got into the Senior Bowl. Obviously, it's a lot different. He's got to work on his technique because guys can get inside on him. But he's an interesting prospect. All right, then center, real quick. Yeah, there's no one left that I like. I guess Josh Myers is fine, but here, I saw Asante Samuel still available. I'm going to go to the board. I'm going to run to the board for Asante Samuel. Yeah, inside, outside, NFL bloodline. I mean, the guy's so that's. I would almost take him in the first round if other guys weren't there.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. Asante Samuel's pretty good. Yeah. He's got that knowledge too from his father. I'm sure that he's giving them some insight on.
How about that? Asante Samuel and Patrick Surtain in the same draft class.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, I feel old.
Florida boys.
You want to feel older? I don't know who's Patrick Surtain. Like his dad was a player in the NFL.
Yeah. What?
I know about Asante Samuel, but Patrick Surtain.
Patrick Surtain was a beast.
Patrick Surtain was fantastic.
On Madden, that was like early 2000s, right? Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain.
Oh, I think it was. He was played in the 90s too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he played in the 2000s though too. He was. Early 2000s though.
Yeah, Dolphins corner for a long time.
That's when the Dolphins had like two shutdown corners. It was Pat Surtain and Sam Madison. They were pretty good duo.
Yep.
I've never heard of them. All right. Before my time. Those are dudes that get infected.
So I got Carlos Basham, by the way.
I know.
Okay.
I know you got Carlos Basham. Thank you, Sonny.
Who did you pass on? What other edge there? Did you consider anyone else?
No, he like.
That's it. It's just Basham or bust.
Basham is good enough for a late second.
All right, man. Let me get Ronnie Perkins.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I've heard good things about Ronnie Perkins. Haven't got a chance to watch him yet. Although the Steelers aren't going to take an edge this early, so I got other guys I need to watch.
Jalen Mayfield.
A player
this is gonna get right when I wanted to take Trey Smith, they snatched him. Reject. All right. It's pretty obvious almost where I have to go here. But let's see. It's actually between two guys.
You said interior defensive line was. You said
and there's Milton Williams.
Yeah, Milton Williams. Yeah.
A lot of people like Milton Williams. You got Davion Nixon as well. Let me. Is that notepad? Does that give like their actual size by chance? Is that like notes on what their size and details are? All right, here we go.
There you go.
Really?
All right.
Strong for his size.
All right.
His athletic profile, I think, is the same as Aaron Donald, but he's just not productive.
Go down. There's nothing else outside of that. All right. Hey, PFN, you might want to actually add like heights and weights to this next time. I'm going to go with Milton Williams. I'll go with Milton Williams. We'll take one. I really wanted to go Peyton Turner, but I think Milton Williams is more of a need, especially replacing Geno Atkins. And they tend to like drafting those guys in the 3rd and 4th round.
Oh, my God, just went off the board. Yeah, and I think Ace, it's a good pick because we talked about in the 3rd round is when you want to start to take those kind of players who are super athletic but not a lot of production.
Right.
No, I'm not taking that pick. All right.
Can I bring up something aside from what we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Dude, Asante Samuel and Patrick Surtain had kids super young. Like, Asante Samuel retired in 2013. Like, people are getting mad at me. Oh, you don't know Patrick Surtain? Dog, I was 10 when Patrick Surtain was in the league.
Surtain was in Miami. Just saying. NFL player in Miami. Just saying.
I didn't know. Was. I knew who Asante Samuel was. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I knew Asante Samuel because he played in one place for a long time, and he was like he played up until 2013. I am 25, guys. Like if somebody had the bulk of their career in the 90s, I'm just not going to know that much about them. So I apologize. I was surprised to find out Pat Surtain Sr. is only 44.
Yeah, Surtain was a Pro Bowler in the early 2000s, 2002 to 2004. If you just played Madden back in that day, which you probably weren't old enough then, Quincy, but we were still playing Madden at like that young age, and he was like a 97 or something. He was like always one of the top corners.
So you always saw Madden. My brother didn't let me play because he wanted to do franchise all day. So I would just watch him play franchise. Asante Samuel is 40 and he has a child that's in the NFL. He was on the
Chiefs. He did go to the Chiefs later.
Yeah, he was at Chiefs at the end. Yeah,
forgot about that.
By the way, I like here that the Packers snaked me and took my boy Spencer Brown right before my selection. Appreciate that. I do see Walker Little still available, which is an interesting prospect out of Stanford. I think he sat out all of last year. He had an ACL tear the year before, so we haven't seen him in like 3 years. But athletic profile through the chart. No. Go to offense real quick.
Draft like a linebacker every single year. It has to be in like the first 3 rounds.
No, they got to draft the wide receiver.
Take a linebacker.
Oh, look, Davis Mills still available. Listen, the successor to Ben is right there, Davis Mills. Okay, so let me see the other tackles that are left besides Walker Little. Oh yeah, it falls off. Stone Forsyth, who I believe my wife went to school with, like his sister. I don't know. She knows him somehow. All right, let me see. Go defense. Linebacker,
of course.
Dylan Moses. Huh? No. We'll keep this easy. We'll go Walker Little. I'll take a tackle here. We'll take an athletic prospect that we have to develop. I mean, it's not someone who needs to play right now because they have Banner and they have Okorafor.
Okay.
The Browns on the clock.
Wait, Frank Gore's son's about to be draft eligible, and Frank Gore's still in the league. That would be something for a running back. I'm sorry, I was paying attention to the chat. Let's see, Browns. Okay, you got some good options here. We're gonna take Jamar Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Safety, Indiana.
What jump for?
Your pick again?
Man, I got some picks.
Yeah,
we're gonna have more picks when we get rid of all these 6th, 5th, and extra 4ths that we got. Because we can't. Ain't nobody gonna make the team from the 5th round. Let's see. We don't need another big dude. Hold on, wait. Let me see how big Nixon is.
They don't have heights and weights. Who do you want to know? I can look him up real quick though. Who do you want to know?
Davion Nixon.
Yeah. Iowa. You should know who
6'3", 313. From an athletic profile, he's not bad. The only thing he really lacks is hand size, which I don't know. Does that really matter for a?
I have no idea if that would be important.
Being Cleveland because his last name is Cleveland. Just take him.
Because we need another guard, right? Joe Batonio and Wyatt Teller not enough. We need another guard there. Just coming from the dude who drafted a tackle in the first round for the Browns.
Oh, you know who you like? You know who you like there from that list, Quincy, is Robert Rochelle, who's your kind of guy. He's a smaller corner, 5'11", but he runs he ran 4.4 in the 40, small school guy. All size, not even size, right? Because he's a smaller corner. I know you don't like the big corners, but he's a small corner, but got the speed, athleticism.
Central Arkansas.
Yeah, we need another. Yeah, take a flyer on a DB here and take Robert Rochelle here.
Okay. I think I'm the last.
Only 9 reps in the bench press, though. Gonna need to bulk up a little bit.
Well, Jalen Ramsey only did like 8.
Oh, did he really? I guess it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, there's some guys I didn't do.
You can't press really anymore unless you JC Horn. Like I don't see why I need to know your bench press because like JC like literally bench presses everybody off the line of scrimmage. But he's the only dude who really plays like that. Quincy Roach.
By the way, MVP for the best name in the draft is Trill Williams, right? Trill Williams, a cornerback from Williams.
I've heard about him.
I thought Tremble might have been here, but
no, Tremble's gone. You wouldn't have got Tremble. I would have got Tremble. I was no way I was letting Tremble fall
Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I might take a tight end. I might take this dude that I cannot pronounce his name.
Yabo. Oh, Darius Washington's still there. Small safety, but he's like super aggressive.
No, I want to say this is more of a ball hawk guy.
Tutu Atwell.
Hey, so I got a question.
What's up?
What would make somebody like, yo, I want to go to HBCU, and then they see one in North Carolina, and they see one in Florida, go, I'll go to one in North Carolina. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. It seems like you enjoy Florida a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I've never heard somebody be like, oh man, I can't wait to go to North Carolina. Like, you just kind of just end up in North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Okay. So, guys, I would like for you guys to get grades. I'm gonna review this picks. Bengals going with Chase, Aschenberg, and Melton Williams. The Browns went with Tevin Jenkins, Ronnie Perkins, Jamar Johnson, Robert Rochelle. The Steelers went with, how you pronounce your last name?
ETN. I said Etienne on my channel, and the comments went nuts. So it's ETN.
He's got a crazy athletic profile. I did see that they dropped the next gen stats.
Yeah.
Athletic scores and I think performance scores or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I'm wondering where they have that at, because I would love to take that performance metric. I don't know how they came up with that, but it seems like it's out of a score of 100 or something like that.
Yeah. You have to look that up. I'm not sure. Might be the player track, like the tracker in the jersey.
So Asante Samuel and Walker Little. In the Ravens, I got Marshall, Basham, and my guy that I have never watched a film from him, but I want a tight end, so I just took him. Kenny Yeboah, maybe.
Your boy.
There you go, your boy. Anyway, give your grades for your team's picks if you haven't. Look, the draft is coming. Next week is our last mock draft. Just before the draft, I'm hoping if we're really trading Orlando Brown that we traded before next week so I can have here a conversation about Orlando Brown, being gone. Sadly, I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. And I think a player the Ravens might target is Tevon Jenkins. Tevon Jenkins is a guy that they might target and replace Orlando Brown. So when Quincy took it, I was like, oh, damn.
He's a good player, though. He's a nasty tackle. The only question with him is, can you move him? I think he played right tackle. So
that's what I wanted.
It would be perfect for the Browns. You know what I mean? Long-term planning, a right tackle, guy can spring off the edge at the run, very physical at the point of attack. I saw those videos too. You know what I mean? He's the most physical guy in the draft. Why not?
Oh yeah, that was Brett Coleman or whatever his name was.
Great title and thumbnail for that video. I have not watched it all the way, but I just saw it. Yeah, that's 2 million views right there. That's gonna be
Oh man, your cousin, nephew, your nephew, man.
Yeah, he's going off. I see him. I see him.
Anyway, guys, we have been going for over an hour, so make sure hit that like if you haven't. If you're watching the replay, leave comments. That helps us a lot, right? Some people are like, hey, I can't donate. How can I help you guys? Well, first of all, share the content, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when we come live. Hit the likes, comments. Comments help us rank on the YouTube algorithm. And also subscribe to the other guy's channel, which is Q, where they can find you, man.
You find me on youtube.com/Quincy Carrier. Or you can just put my name in the YouTube search bar. My face will pop up. So check me out there. Again, you can check me out watching the draft live, eating steak while the Bengals draft Jamar Chase, and everything else goes on with this.
And you can find Quincy choking on that steak as soon as they select Gregory Rousseau later on.
I'm like, y'all gonna have to make me try to justify this all summer, Browns. Like, y'all gonna make me have to make a video on why he might not be terrible. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could be a team guy on that one. No.
All of a sudden, Quincy's gonna be like, man,
I had to do it with John Ross. I did it with John Ross. You're gonna have to do it.
Like, I'm gonna have to be there sounding like somebody got a gun in my head. Well, he could be like Calais Campbell, except for
with that jersey on. He's a Brown now. Quincy. You're gonna have to support him.
He's mad at me, but I tell the truth. I'm like, he has no speed. Like,
Tony, where can I find you, man?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Steeler Country. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Steeler Country with Tony Serrano. Head on over there. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. So if you're not subbed, head on over there, do that. And I'm going to be doing a live stream next Thursday for the NFL draft. So if you're a Steeler fan, you want to see some analysis there, I'll be live. So check that out. Steeler Country with Tony Serrano.
Ace.
You guys can find me at New Stripe City on YouTube, also with that moniker on Twitter. I just did a very dope crossover with my man Vach Lombardi. We talked all things NFL draft. It was a very dope conversation. And then I also did the Civil War Part 2 last week with TJ Houshmandzadeh and Hugh Jackson. We were smoking on that Team Chase pack last week, so be sure to check that out. It was a great time, especially watching Hugh Jackson in his reactions against the guy from PFF talking about analytics. It was pretty funny stuff. So please be sure to check it out over there. And then, of course, bang it here for the AFC North Talk, where we're going to have all kind of jokes and fun, especially gearing up for the draft. So definitely be sure to hit that like if you haven't. Be sure to bang that subscribe button and also share this with some of your friends that are AFC North fans. And even if you're not a fan of the AFC North, and we just get other guys from other divisions that enjoy our banter, we'd love to have you as a subscriber too.
Yeah, you can follow SCE Sports everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Also, guys, don't forget AFC North Talk has a Twitter now. You can go check us out there. Make sure you follow. That way, also, when the videos come out, we put it there. And last but not least, one of the things that I get a lot of questions, I'm sure the guys also hear, is like, are we going to do a draft thing in the channel? We're not. Everybody's streaming in their own channel for day one. Day one, I'm actually not going to stream. I'm going to stream day two. So go check everybody out. So make sure, like with the Bengals, hop to Ace Network, because you want to see that reaction. Same thing for Tony and the Steelers, and then for Q. I'll be there day two on my channel, so go check that out. And hey, if you're a Steeler or even if you're not a Steelers fan, let's get Tony over the 1,000, man. Let's get Tony over.
Also, Sonny, I know you're not going to be live, but can you at least just do like a TikTok or something when they take Russo in the first round when the Ravens take Russo?
Could be live.
I'm not gonna
wake up. He might not even be watching the draft. He will wake up from sleep in England like, bloody hell.
Let me rephrase this. I'm actually waking up at 1 a.m. to watch the draft.
Okay.
I'm just not streaming in my channel. I'm probably going to do Nubo or somebody, and then I'm going to have a couple people on day two on my channel. So that's why I'm not going to be on my channel. But yeah, I'll be somewhere. If they pick up Russo, you're free to call me or hit me up. And you can see me losing my shit somewhere on YouTube. Because it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. I will say this. With this, we'll finish. When they drafted Hollywood Brown, I was not the happiest person either. There's a video out there. When they drafted Hollywood Brown, I was like, okay, they just happened. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining this edition of the AFC North Talk. We'll see you next time.
Have you ever
Are you listening? Damn.